Hi everybody, welcome again to our PowerApps from Zero to Hero course. In this video, we're gonna look at how to connect our PowerApps application to a SharePoint list in order to populate our drop-downs. So let's get started. Okay, so now we have three drop-down controls. If we preview our application, what we are going to see is that these drop-down controls have sample data. So we need to change that. One way to do that is selecting the control and go to the items property. You will see that we have drop-down sample by default. If we wanted to change that, we can use brackets, square brackets, and add the text of the values we want to show in the drop-down, like EMEA. Those are some sample values we want to use in this control, in this case for region. So you could see if we preview that we already have the values. But there is an issue with this. What happens if we want to do the same for country and industry and we want to add additional countries or remove a country or delete a country, for example? We will need to go to the app and do the change every time. So that's not the best way to do that, right? So in this case, we need a repository of information where we can manage all the data. In this case, we're going to use a SharePoint list. I have already created an opportunity management site. And in this site, you will see that we have several SharePoint lists. For example, we have a particular list for regions. What you're going to see is that this list have only one field, which is the title field, the default field. And we have all the records here. We can easily edit, delete, or add items to this list. The same is going to happen with the list of industries. Again, we have all the industries and we have only one field, which is the title field. And the last list we are going to look in this video is the countries list. You will see that in this case we have a title field where we have all the countries, but we also have an additional field which is the region. So in this way we are going to be able to identify which country belongs to each region, right? Okay, so let's go back to our application. Okay, so now what we need to do is to connect our SharePoint list to our application in order to populate our drop-downs with that data. To do that, we go to the data source section and we need to search our corresponding data source. In this case, our data source is going to be SharePoint. So when we click on SharePoint, we are going to need to add this connection. And we have this screen where we need to specify the URL of our site. So let's go back to our site. Let's copy the URL of our site and paste that here and click on connect. When I do that, we are going to see the list of SharePoints that have been created. In this case, we are going to select only the list that we need. So I need the list of countries, industries, and regions, and then I click on connect. When I do that, I'm going to see that these three SharePoint lists have been added as my data source. Okay? So the next thing that I need to do is just reference those lists on my drop-downs. So I'm going to go here, and instead of having these values, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify bracket, arroba, and the name of my list, which in this case is going to be regions, close brackets, and that's it. Now we need to specify which field we are going to show in my drop-down. So if we go in this section, we need to select the field which is going to be title. Okay, and now when we preview, we see all the values from that list, right? But I want to apply some order in my list. For example, I would like that this value, select a region, will be the first one, right? And I would like the order to be ascendant, for example. So in this case, let's select again the control, and in the items, I'm gonna use a function. This function is gonna be the sort function. If I write source, we're gonna see that this function requires the source, comma, the expression, which actually is gonna be the value that I'm gonna use to sort my list. In this case, the field I'm gonna choose is gonna be title. So I close the parentheses, and when I preview the application, we're gonna see that the values have been ordered by title. Let's do the same for industry. I'm gonna select this control. This time I'm gonna add industries. Okay. And remember that we need to select which field we are gonna show in the drop-down. In this case, again, it's gonna be title. And we are gonna use again the sort function. So we wanna sort the industries by title. So when we preview, we see that all the industries have been ordered by title. And we are gonna do the same in the industry drop-down. But this case, there is gonna be a particularity. I'm gonna select countries. We're gonna do the same. We're gonna sort the countries by title. Here we're gonna select the value title. And when we preview, we're gonna see the list of all the countries, right? But we only want to show the countries or filter it by the region that I select. So let's say I select the APAC region. I would like to see only the countries that belong to that region. Okay, so to do that, we need to use a different function. In this case, we're gonna use the function filter. So the function filter basically has the source. My source is gonna be this one, the countries, but sorted by title. And then we need to specify the logical test. In this case, the logical test will be a comparison. Remember that we have a field in our SharePoint list, which is the region field. So I want to look at only the countries where the region is equal to the value of the drop-down. So in this case, let's do the same. Region is equal to the drop-down. In this case, we need to look at the name of the control. The name of the control is DDWN region. So let's put DDWN region. Selected text, and from the selected text we want to be sure to select the title, and that's it. So let's preview. So when I click, for example, Amer, we are gonna see only the countries in America. If we select APAC, it's gonna be the same, right? Okay, that was all for now. In my next video, I'm gonna show you how to add a gallery and how to customize that gallery with customer information. If you like this content, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share this video with your friends. Hope to see you again. Bye!